Over the past couple of days, since, well, today is April 18th when I'm shooting this, there's been a pretty good turn in the market. We've been bouncing off the lows, and there's been a lot of stocks starting to break out. That's led to many people asking me, what do I do with all these opportunities? It's a high quality problem to have a lot of opportunities coming out, but it's also one that we need to know how to deal with. So I want to share with you one question that was asked from Mike the Moneymaker on YouTube. Mike writes, I've been trading for longer than you are old. I'm 38, so got a lot of experience under your belt, Mike. Having said that, only to impress the large amount of trading experience under my belt. However, one problem which still vexes and annoys me continually, which I would like to get your opinion on, is already being in a proven strategy and a winning trade that is working in my favor, but then another trade with the exact same winning trade strategy triggers an entry, and for the rest of the trade day works better, faster, and much higher rate of winning performance over the trade that I'm currently involved in managing. The question is how to apply more trade capital to the faster, better performing security while lightening up on the other winner to maximize trade performance while keeping proper position sizing rules and risk in check in available trading accounts. Any suggestions? Thanks in advance. Mike, that was a mouthful, but I've got 5 ideas for you. The first thing that I think that we need to look at is what's happening in the overall market. We need to have an understanding of where are the major indexes at, where are the other stocks on our watch list at, what are other leading stocks doing. That's going to give us a really good indication of, are we going to potentially run into resistance in another couple of days, or is this a real pivotal moment in the market where we could be on the upswing? We want to be aware of this because the temptation to start stepping on the gas when we start to see things popping off left and right is pretty high. And if we do start to step on the gas and then all of a sudden there's all these tail lights in front of us and we need to then slam on our own brakes, then that's something that's going to end up setting us back. The way that we win in the market over the long term is by compounding our gains. And the way that we need to compound our gains is to limit our losses. And part of limiting our losses is making sure that we don't step on the gas too heavy and then end up getting stopped out of other positions. So first thing is we want to have a real good sense of what is going on in the market. The second thing that we want to think about is our overall portfolio risk. How much risk are we willing to take in our portfolio? What's our maximum amount of risk? If we start putting on other positions just because we see that other stocks are breaking out and they look like they are getting ready to charge forward, and in the moment they are performing very well and we want to go after those, well, how does that affect the rest of our portfolio? Do we want to start cutting other stocks that haven't really done anything wrong, but they haven't started running? Do we want to start going on margin? Well, what do we want to do? We need to take into account our portfolio risk, and what the amount of our portfolio risk is also going to be tied to step 1 of identifying the overall health of the market, figuring out the lay of the land, figuring out what the market is doing and what other stocks in the market are doing to make sure that we are in sync with what is actually happening. The third part of this is we want to weigh each of these opportunities equally. Now, this is a problem that I identified a long time ago in my trading journey. I would come across 2 different stocks. They were both breaking out and I would want to be in both of them. Well, which one do I take? I had a checklist and I checked off 8 out of 10 boxes on one and 8 out of 10 boxes on the other. So they're equal, right? Well, not necessarily. Do all those boxes count the same? Should they count the same? In my eyes, they shouldn't count the same. And so what I did was create a stock evaluation guide, and I'll provide a link either up here or down in the description below for this stock analysis starter kit that I made. And part of that kit is this stock evaluation guide. What it does is it takes that list of criteria that I'm looking for in every single stock that I trade, and it gives a weight to it, right? So as you're checking off each of the boxes, you're also going to be adding or subtracting different weights to that stock. So rather than having 8 out of 10 boxes checked and 8 out of 10 boxes checked, you'll now have a score of, say, 9.5 for one and 8.3 for the other, and then you have a real clear indication based off of your own subjective analysis of which ones you should go to. So it's a way of taking something that is subjective, we're the ones that are coming up with all these weights, but being objective with them because we are placing the same weights on this stock and on that stock. And that's something that will help you figure out which one to go for. The fourth thing that we need to figure out is how large of a position do we want? How much of our portfolio are we going to put into this idea? The way that I like to figure it out is to reverse engineer my position. So what does that mean? That means that I'm going to figure out how much I want to risk on this stock. So do I want to risk 1% of my existing trading capital? Do I want to risk 2% of my trading capital? Do I want to risk 0.5% of my trading capital? And then based on that, figure out, okay, where is my entry point? Where is my exit point? And based on how much I want to risk, then how many shares can I buy? There is a position size calculator on ChartYourTrade.com, and there's also a couple of other videos on this channel that go deeper into how to calculate your position size, and I'll link those somewhere up here and also down in the description as well. Go check those out, and it will help you figure out how much to risk and how big of a position you should buy. The fifth and final thing that I think that we need to remember is that this is just one trade. If we're going to be participating in the market for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, whatever it is, if we're going to be in the market for multiple years, this is just one trade out of hundreds or potentially thousands of trades. This one trade will not matter in the grand scheme of things, even if this one trade ends up being a stock where we make 100% on. Yes, that is significant, and it will make a difference right now, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not going to make that much of an impact. So with that in mind, don't overthink the trade. That's what I think. I think that our emotional and our mental capital is far more important than this one trade. And if we put too much focus on this one trade and making this one trade be a winner, then we end up messing ourselves up. We end up draining our emotional and our mental capital and investing too much of our emotional and mental capital into this one idea, whereas it should be focused on managing the portfolio. That's where our effort should be, not just this one trade. So I hope that was helpful. Let me know what you thought. Let me know if there is a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 that I missed that you think should be included. If you have any questions on anything I said at all, please leave it down in the comment section below and I will personally help you. Also, if you like this video, click that thumbs up button. That's going to help us out a lot, and make sure that you subscribe to the channel so that way you get every single update. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video. Take care and have a great day.